I'll snip the ribbon that dedicates this fabulous building to all the people of Texas.
You're going to say hi first? Yeah. Go ahead and cut it, and then you say hi.
All right. Welcome home. We're going to cut it. All right. 1, 2, 3. It'll be my pleasure to introduce the mayor, who needs no introduction whatsoever, but nonetheless, I'm going to do that. But first, I just want to thank this crowd of proud public citizenistas for coming together here in this new fabulous building, but also to celebrate 30 years of tremendous work. I'm actually on the national board of the Public Citizen. And I've been active in this organization for all these many years because it has been unafraid to take on the bosses, bankers, big shots, bastards, and bullshitters.
That's right. That's right.
Who think that they can run roughshod over all the people of this country.
That's right. Tell them.
They're the top dogs, and we're just a bunch of fire hydrants in the countryside. So, yeah. I grew up in a little town of Denison, Texas, right on the Oklahoma border up there. And I was a little guy in a small town, and I learned early on you should never hit a man with glasses. You should use something much heavier. And the heaviest thing that we have on the progressive side are the people themselves.
That's right, bro.
When we rally the people to come together, we can not only persevere, but we can prevail.
Amen.
And we need more of that going on. And that's what Public Citizen represents, and so many other of the feisty groups come together. Of course, here in Texas, the odds are against us in these huge fights. When I was Ag Commissioner, we were taking on organic standards. We were trying to create farmers markets in our state. There weren't any back then. This and that we were doing. And one of my staff guys said, well, the odds are against us. And I said, some of the evens are against us too. Steve and Doggett and others who have been in this fight know what that is about. They use all that they have. They have a massive arsenal of money, a massive arsenal of lobbyists and lawyers. They've got the money. They've got the corporate media outlets. They've got their own front groups. They've got their money. They've got their judges and lies and gerrymandering. Did I mention that they have money? That's what we're up against. But the good news is they got the fat cats, but we got the alley cats. Or them. So when we rally those alley cats, then indeed we do prevail. Not only persevere, but prevail. So that's what Public Citizen represents. That's what this whole public interest movement represents. And so I'm here just to say, keep on keeping on, but more so. We need more coalitions, more alliances, more reaching out to people who are not in this room tonight, but would be here. If we would reach out to them, we've got to go to where they are and bring them into this coalition to take this country, to take this state, to take this city, not back. That's what the Tea Party wants to do. It's going back. We got to move it forward.
That's right.
In this country, and that means going to the countryside and making it happen. With that said, let me bring a guy who probably is jet lagged because he's been off in the great city of Paris over there representing Austin with Bridget Shea and all kinds of good. Austin had a big delegation, as I understand.
Leslie Poole and Michael.
Who is over there standing up for what is right on climate change, daring to defy the Beelzebub with yellow hair who is running for president on the other side, but standing up for ordinary people, and it's the poorest people of this world that are represented on this globe right here that we need to try to preserve. You know, we're all just one marble. That's all we are. One people, one marble. Steve Adler.
Let me begin with, I spent the time in Paris. We signed the compact for mayors. group of cities, about over 300 right now, that have committed climate change activities proactive to pick up half of the load that is being committed to internationally, is being done at the city level. Went from that, signed the Under 2 agreement with cities from all around the country, pledging to reduce the footprint by 2050 at levels unprecedented in the number of cities. Spent the last several days at New Mayor's School in Boston with my class of new mayors. I came here virtually straight from the airport.
Wow.
Everybody has the same question for me after this time, so I'm going to answer it right off the bat. I am not running for Elliot Neystat's. I thought that he was going to be here, and I just want to take, this is my first time to stand up in front of a group since he's made that announcement, so I want to take just 10 seconds to say what an incredible job Representative Neystat. Let me talk about Paris just real fast, and it was one of the most exciting things that I've ever been part of. I was real proud to be part of one of the largest delegations from a city in this country. I went, Council Member Poole, Leslie went with him, Michael went along, obviously Bridget went along. We also had 2 students and faculty members from Houston Tillotson as part of the delegation. We were all over the green zone and the blue zone. This was the largest collection of mayors and regional leaders in one place in the history of the world. And what that tells you is, and what I was just reinforced every time you turned around, is that while people were focused on the international treaty, and people are obviously still focused on the international treaty, the work that is actually being done, the work that will be done that enables us to get to the goals is being done at the local level.
Right on.
And what has been happening in Austin over the last year are things that people are seeing and realizing and following around the world. The solar contracts that we entered into, at the levels that we are entering into them, at the prices that we are entering into them, were things that people who I didn't know came up to me and said, "Hey, you're from Austin," and then started telling me about the work that we had done. And it becomes something that's reaffirming, because all the cities are challenging one another, which is why, as I mentioned a second ago, Austin signed, following from the climate plan that Leslie helped bring through the council this year, and that many of you have worked on for the last several years. The Compact for Mayors, 360 cities combining together. Everyone's walking around with thumb drives with their climate protection plans, swapping them out with one another. And we came back with several of them. You know, we had an interesting experience on Sunday. So on one of the last days that we were there, we met Leslie and I with the mayor from Adelaide, because we were returning to them their opal. But when we got together and sat down at the table, and he made sure that the opal was actually with us, the very next thing he did was hand us his thumb drive with his climate action plan from Adelaide. And that is a city that is pledged to go carbon neutral by 2025. Wow! That's our sister city in Australia, beating us by about 25 years. So there's a lot of work for us to do.
Okay, 2024.
It was a fascinating thing to be part of. We had the opportunity to be at the U.S. Ambassador's to France residence twice. We got briefings from the negotiators. What they told us is they thought that the deal would be made, that it would never be as good as what we had all liked it to be, but it was going to be so much better than where we have been in the past. So the expectations are real high for what's going to happen. It was fascinating to be part of it. One of my 2 really proud moments the whole time, other than being in that place, and participating. Two of them, one was when I got the call back here at 3 o'clock in the morning to the group of you that were there. Leslie and I were on that call.
Yay, you were there, we were there.
Right? Knowing that we had that support when we were there is something that was real important to all of us being there. And then being with the Houston Tillerson students, because we took them out and talked to them. They're doing incredible work over there with Green is the new black organization that they have. And it's the kids. It's the kids that were at the SOS school. It gave us a lot of chance to talk a lot of times about how this is core to who we are in Austin. It's our culture. It's what we are. It was a very proud time to be there. And I have high expectations for what's going to happen.
Right on.
Kathy? You want to come up?
So, we have actually a proclamation from the mayor, so I'll just say a couple additional things, and then perhaps you'd like to read the proclamation, Mayor Adler. I'm just really so pleased to see these great new offices. Many years ago, I met Smitty. I don't think he probably remembers, but it was in a training that was being done for different congregations, people from different congregations who were interested in getting more involved in the community. And I thought, wow, it was such an impressive training. And as all of us who know Smitty know, he's just such an engaging speaker. But that was my first learning about public citizen, and I never dreamed in those days that public citizen would become such an important part, that I would be in the role I am now and rely so heavily on the work and the advocacy that public citizen does. So we're so fortunate here in Austin and in the state of Texas to have so many dedicated community volunteers and advocates and organizations like Public Citizen that are helping us shape public policy in the right way for all of our children. And these are mine, and I'm so glad that they're here with me today, and we're going to have to leave here quickly as a result. But thank you, and congratulations on this great.
All right, Kathy.
We need to recognize the work that the Mayor Pro Tem Kathy has
Yes.
done for decades in the community, the services she's given. I understand the council meeting that I wasn't for yesterday went through in like record time. Everybody wants you to run the meetings now. That sounds great to me. We also had Ann Kitchen, who was here from the council.
Thank you, Ed.
And Councilmember Poole with us here. So I'm going to read the proclamation. And we get to the party. It's a proclamation. Be it known that whereas Public Citizens Texas office was established in 1984 to advocate for the consumers of this state. And I'll add parenthetically that when I met Smitty when I was working up at the legislature in the mid-1990s. So we go back personally that far in the work of this organization. And whereas Public Citizen has committed itself to ethics reforms at all levels, including in Austin, to ensure that the best interests of the people are put before corporate interests.
Right on.
And whereas Public Citizen's efforts have resulted in solutions that improve Texas air quality and thereby the health of the people of Texas and Austin. And whereas Public Citizen's Texas office has been instrumental in advancing the use of clean, renewable energy in Austin, which has resulted in reduced greenhouse gas emissions and local economic development. Now therefore, I, Steve Adler, Mayor of the City of Austin, Texas, do hereby proclaim December 11th of 2015 as Public Citizen Day.
Leslie, Kathy, Ann, I appreciate very much your honoring us with your presence. And so many more that have meant so much to us over the decades in terms of our work. I know you need to leave, and Kathy needs to get her daughter to the nutcracker, in which she's playing a role tonight. So, if you have to scoot out in the next few minutes, you're excused and forgiven.